Hello there, and welcome to my channel, where I'll be animating things I've encountered during my retail job. You can call me Bagz, that's with a Z at the end. Now, I'll be taking you on a journey into my retail world. Anyway, let's get started on this journey. This is about the legend of the Babbler, based on a true story. This legend first began many years ago after I started working for a retail company, which sole purpose is world domination. Oh, I guess I should tell you what my job is. I gather carts, mostly, and help people bring things to their cars. Now, back to the story. So, I'm walking in front of the store, going to get a few carts, when I notice a man lying on the ground. "You okay?" I ask. "I can't feel my body," he replied. So I looked up, and I yelled for my fellow cart pusher to get help. That pusher's name is Maddie. Now, this was during the time when cell phones were just coming out, so we had to use an outside phone booth. Think Superman, or better yet, TARDIS. Only there was no booth, and it was only a phone on the wall. Oh yeah, back to the guy. So, about 3 people gathered around the man while I waited for management to come out. They started praying over the guy. By now, this guy was unresponsive. Suddenly, from out of the shadows, literally, because it was nighttime and lighting was really bad, this old lady, dressed in Sunday clothes, walks to the guy and touches him with her cane. Then she starts to babble gibberish like blah 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 blah. The 3 people who were praying stopped and stared at her in confusion. Then the ambulance came and picked up the guy while she continued to babble blah 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 blah. Fast forward many years later. I should mention, the Babbler is like a random encounter in an RPG game. You never know when and how long she'll appear. So, I'm walking up the parking lot and I see this old lady and her daughter talking to the Babbler. They were near a corral, so I heard everything they were talking about. The daughter had cancer, and she asked the Babbler if she could heal her. Now, I'm like, did I hear that right? I look at them, and in slow motion, I witnessed it. The Babbler slams her hand into the forehead of the daughter, creating shockwaves around them. It looked like she snapped the daughter's neck in half with the force she used. That's when the Babbler launched her attack against the demons within. The mother stood, lifted her hands in the air, while keeping her eyes closed. It was as if she saw the Babbler in her mind elevate into the air like an angel. I decided I'd seen enough, so I went to gather carts. I came back down towards the corral, and the 2 ladies were gone. Only the Babbler was left. She stared at me, all the while I walked towards the corral. I tried to ignore her as I neared. That's when she flipped out.
"You demon. You're a demon. A demon in disguise. Evil demonic demon. Be gone."
Yes, she said that to me, as the onlookers watched in confusion. Then she began to babble, and I took off. Fast forward many years later. Yes, I've been working retail far longer than I wanted. So I'm out in the lot gathering carts when I hear yelling. I look over, and there she is, the Babbler. She was yelling about the Bible and looking for people to listen. One poor soul got trapped in her gaze, and their eyes locked. The confused woman tried to walk away as the Babbler yelled Bible verses. I just smiled and continued my cart gathering ritual. Then I hear her going off again with Bible verses. At least, I thought they were, until I heard what she was yelling. The amount of profanity coming from her was mind-blowing. This went on for a few minutes, and eventually I had to go to the other side to gather carts. I noticed she was yelling at, I guess, her husband in the car. She was still cursing at him, and a lot of it was rambling and didn't make much sense. Then, it all stopped. I looked in her direction. She was in the middle of the road, looking towards the top of the lot. We had a hill for a parking lot. She threw her hands in the air while holding onto her cane. She began the babbling. Blah, 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 blah. It was as if she was a female Moses trying to part the seas. Well, in this case, the parking lot. Once she realized nothing was happening and no one was paying any attention to her, she got in her car and took off. To this day, I have yet to see her again. But that's the thing. She seems to appear only after people forget about her. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. It was quite an interesting experience. Anyway, this animation takes a ridiculous amount of time to create, so I have no idea if or when I'm going to do another one. I'll have to wait and see. If I get enough support, I'll see what I can do, but for now I'm working 2 jobs and this is really hard to get through. Alright, have fun.